Well, hello there, everybody. This is the Comedy Thief, and guess what? You're watching.
Funny old guys. That's it.
That's what you're doing, folks. So we go from small to big. It's those vitamins that we've been taking. Anyway, this is a joke-a-thon. If you've been watching us for the past few years, you know exactly what we do. We tell funny jokes. We laugh, you laugh, we make money. Before we start, I'd like to introduce the famous surgeon. I like this new moniker, cold hands and soft heart. Dr. Fatpacker, say hello. Hello.
Well, guten Tag, everybody. Yeah, nice to have you with us today. Please feel free to laugh as much as you want.
Exactly. And below me is Friar Shnook from the great state of Utah. No, I've got it all mixed up.
No.
Friar Shnook, say hello to our wonderful audience.
Hey, Pax Nabisco, everybody. Hope you're ready to laugh.
What was that first part? Something.
Pax Nabisco. Oh, I guess you don't speak Latin. That
Oh,
means
I
you've
thought
done
you were-
crackers. Okay.
I thought you were talking about Nabisco, but you're not. Not at all. Anyway, let's begin. Tell a joke there, Doctor.
Well, I have three dad jokes here, so we'll start with those. Why did the yogurt go to the art exhibition?
Ooh, why did the yogurt go to the art exhibition?
Well, because it was cultured.
Ooh.
That's yup.
What do you call an apology written in dots and dashes?
What?
Morse something.
Apology. Remorse code.
Oh, I like that one. That's good. Go ahead.
And
One more?
then a golden oldie. Did you hear about the two people who stole a calendar?
No.
They each got 6 months.
Oh,
Oh, okay.
Friar Shnook.
Well, let me tell you about this forester who's walking through the forest, and a tree yelled out to him. And the tree yelled, "Hey, stop that. You can't cut me down. I'm a talking tree." And you know what the forester said?
No, pray tell.
You may be a talking tree, but you'll die a log.
Oh,
Get it, folks? Okay. I have three short ones also.
oh,
Oh,
It was so cold out.
how cold was it?
It was so cold out. I saw a lawyer with his hands in his own pockets. It was
Oh.
so cold.
how cold was it?
I've used this 100 times before. I saw a squirrel to the outside just to keep warm. He was blowing on his own nuts.
Oh,
Oh,
It was
oh,
so
oh.
cold.
how cold was
was it?
It was so cold. I saw 12 chickens all lined up in a row at KFC, just
Yeah.
waiting to get be the first one to get into the deep fryer. That's how
Oh,
cold
no.
it was. Dr. Fatpacker.
Well, so this middle-aged businessman got on a plane when discovered he was sitting next to a beautiful young blonde woman.
Mm.
Well, she was reading a book, and though it was a long flight, and he tried to get a conversation going, but was not working very well. He then proposed a little quiz game. He would ask a question, and if she could not answer the question, she would have to pay him $1. Then she would ask a question, and if he could not answer it, he would pay her $20.
Ah,
She said, okay. She put the book away. So his first question was, how long does it take for the sunshine to reach the earth? She did not know, so she had to hand over $1 bill. Her turn, she said, what is it that goes up a mountain every morning but never comes down? The businessman thought for some time he could come up with an answer, so he handed her over $20 bill. Curious, though, he asked her, what was it that goes up a mountain morning but never comes down? And she goes, I don't know either, and gave him $1.
Oh, wow, that's a very religious joke because it was quite profitable for her. Yes.
Oh, there you go.
So why couldn't the shellfish farmer go for a run?
Why
I
couldn't
don't know. Pray
shellfish?
tell.
What?
He pulled him. He pulled a muscle. But,
Oh,
A
he pulled a
muscle.
but even worse than that, my niece said that she was engaged to the gardener, but she had to break it off. And I
Oh,
said, "Oh, my dear,
Oh.
why?" He said, "Oh, he was too rough around the hedges."
oh.
Oh,
Okay, here's one for you. What goes
Yeah.
up? What goes up in the morning, but rarely ever goes down?
didn't we just do that one?
The
Is
answer
this a
is
mountain? Oh,
way too many Viagra pills.
Da,
Da 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 da.
da, 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 da.
Dr. Fatpacker.
oh my goodness. Well, two strangers that asked by the golf pro at the range if they wouldn't mind playing around with each other to keep from backing up the queue too much, right? And they
Mhm.
agreed. So they made small talk. They're having a decent time, neither of them being great golfers, but getting some good laughs out of each other. Yeah.
Mhm.
On the 12th hole, which is next to the main road, a funeral procession turns into the road, and the one golfer lays down his club, stands erect and puts his hat over his heart, and bows his head until the last car in the procession passes. The other golfer goes, "Wow, I've never seen anyone pay respects like that on a golf course." And the other man says, "Yeah, we were married for 36 years. It was the least I could do."
It was the least they could do.
Oh.
What a gentleman. Indeed. Friar Shnook, it's your turn.
Hey, if you breathe oxygen during the day, what do you breathe at night? Nitrogen.
Nitrogen.
Bourbon.
Uh,
What's the answer?
nitrogen.
Oh, nice.
Nitrogen.
And
Oh,
you know what a
I
balloon's
got
fate?
it. Hey, hey, right here. I may be old, but I get those punchlines. Well,
Okay.
anyway, you guys know that I've always been a problem drinker.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the
Me,
other
me, me
night,
to talk to you about that. Yeah.
yeah, I know. The other night I drank way too much, right? And I stumbled into bed. I didn't brush my tooth, and I woke up in the morning. I was all fuzzy. Had a huge headache, and then I had to get up, go out of bed, and take back the car that I had taken from that party.
Oh, it was nice of you to bring it back. Yeah.
Yeah.
Can I start over?
Sure.
Yeah.
I grant you absolution for that last joke. So go
I'm
ahead.
a problem drinker. Drank too much last night. Then I had to get up and go find out where I left my car
Oh,
Oh,
and take back the one car that I took. That's the punchline. What the
da-da-bum.
hell?
no, the punchline is
Dr. Fatpacker, save me,
punchline
save
is
me.
the punchline is I I was so drunk I took a bus home. The next morning I couldn't remember where I took it from.
That's not my joke, but close enough.
A man.
What the hell? Let's move on.
So a man was at the Metropolitan Museum of Art fashion night and
Ooh.
spotted an elderly woman, very thin and wearing a ginormous diamond pendant around her neck.
Mm.
The man was so intrigued with the gem that he walked over to the elderly woman and complimented her on her beautiful possession. When he said, "Excuse me, madam, that is the most beautiful diamond I have ever seen." And the woman replied, "Thank you. It's the Culpman diamond, but it comes with a curse." "Oh," I said. The man said, "A curse? What is the curse?" She replied, "Mr. Klopman."
Oh! Friar Schnook.
Hey, what do you call a fish with no eyes?
I
don't
don't know.
know.
Pray tell.
A fish. Come on. Come on. It's still a
Oh,
fish.
Well, this is very exciting, guys. There's a brand new modern invention for women only. Okay, it's
Ah.
a watch, electronic marvel that women wear, and it keeps track of the various times that they are most fertile. So when they want to have a baby, they know exactly when to have sex in order to become pregnant.
Oh,
Now, there's another one. It's a modern electronic watch for just men,
Oh.
right? And It keeps track of various things in the man's body, and it lets him know the very best time to have sex.
Oh,
It's usually somewhere between when the beeper goes off, the second and third beer. That's
Oh, oh,
Dr.
oh.
Fatpacker. This is your last one, but we each get the
oh,
last one.
I'll tell you about Mrs. McDougal.
Tell us
So
about Mrs. McDougal.
she was an older Irish woman, and she came in to see me. She had seldom ever been to see a doctor before. And after a bit of conversation and background information, I told her, come back the next morning at 10 o'clock with a specimen. Okay. So Mrs. McDougal shows up at 10 the next morning, looking like she had been dragged a quarter mile behind the farm tractor. I said to her, I said, what in the world had happened? She says, well, doc, you told me to bring in a specimen this morning. I didn't know what that meant, but I was too embarrassed to ask. So on the way home, I see Mrs. McTavish. I says to her, McTavish, the doc says to bring in a specimen. What does that mean? And she said, go piss in a bottle. When I said, go shit in your hat, and the fight was on.
Friar Shnook, this is your last one.
Why can't you ever trust atoms?
I don't know. Pray tell.
They make up everything.
Oh,
Oh.
those little liars.
Okay, here's a little social experiment. It's just to develop wonderful, loving relationships. How a man can win in a relationship with a woman. He would wine her. He would listen to her. He would take her to restaurants. He would give her flowers. He would talk to her, spend time with her, romance her, and sometimes even sing to her.
Ooh, okay.
Now, how a woman can win in a relationship with a man? Bring beer and come naked.
There you go.
That's what it is. So anyway, we're done. We're not out of here though, because we have a point of conversation just between the three of us. Dr. Fatpacker, what's our point of conversation for today?
I got this as kind of like a little puzzle. So, and you got to try to figure it out, or put your own take to it. So, this woman in front of you places two envelopes onto the table. One is labeled envelope A, and one is labeled envelope B. And she goes, here's the deal. Each of these envelopes contains a significant sum of cash. One of them contains exactly twice as much money as the other. Okay, you can keep one envelope and I'll keep the other one, but the decision is yours, but you're only allowed to look inside one of them before you decide which one you want. So she slides envelope A, and you open it and you count the money inside.
Yes.
Now, do you want to keep envelope A or do you want to switch to envelope B? How would you answer that, Friar Shnook?
I would look at her and I would say, how come this isn't $20 like last week?
Oh!
Pay attention, comedy thief. You get a turn too. I slide an envelope towards you. You open it up and you look. Do you want to keep it or go to the next one?
It sounds like a quiz show. But what I would do is I would say to the woman, lady, that is so damn stupid. Then I'd punch her in the mouth, take both envelopes, and run. That's what I would do. What would you do?
That's a good answer. That's really close to what my answer was, because I would do pretty much the same thing. I wouldn't punch her, though. I would just say, I see how much money is in here. Excuse me. Oh, my goodness. Do you see that? And when she turn around, I'd steal both envelopes and run.
And we'd end up in the same bar having drinks.
Absolutely.
Anyway, folks, we're done. We're out of here. We're so glad that you were a part of our video joke-a-thon today. Oh, wait a minute.
What's that?
We invite a famous celebrity, and I think I know who it is, and I'm very puzzled. You can help me to be on our very next video. Very famous celebrity, and who should we invite?
Okay, well, listen. This is a woman. She was a star in the TV show Stranger Things, when she also played Enola Holmes, who was the sister of Sherlock Holmes, and
That's
that
right.
was Millie Bobby Brown. I liked
Oh,
her.
yeah,
Billy Bobby Brown? Is
Yeah,
that
this
Millie
could-
Bobby Brown.
Hey, this is the perfect time for her to come on the show.
Yeah.
I have
That's a
no
young
idea who she
person
is, but
come
we'll
on this
invite her.
program.
Billy Bobby Brown. That's a girl, right?
Millie
Yeah,
Bobby.
yeah, it
yeah.
is.
Billy Bobby Brown. You're going to be on our very next video, so you have to check in within 24 hours at funnyoldguys@gmail.com in order to be on our next video. And if you don't check in 24 hours, Billy Bobby Brownie Boo 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 Boo, you're going to go in the trash bin. So, that's the Comedy Thief saying goodbye and farewell. We steal all the jokes you've heard today. Pass it along to Dr. Fatpacker for his goodbye and his farewell.
Well, off Vida saying, everybody, thank you so much for tuning in. Listen, before you go, do us a favor, go down to the bottom and subscribe. That's right. Check that little rectangle thing down there and tell all your friends. Now, maybe you forgot where to find us on YouTube. Aha, we can solve that. You send us an email at funnyoldguys@gmail.com, and we'll send you some of these fancy dancy business cards. Funny old guys. See, it's got our YouTube address on that. You could pass them out to your friends and you could all laugh together and maybe have a beer too. That'd be great.
You can also find us on Facebook, on Instagram. You can also find us on a newer one called Rumble. Friar Shnook, say goodbye and farewell to all the boys and girls in video land.
Well, hope everyone has a great time. And Millie Bobby, I mean, I know your career slowed down a little bit, but being with Funny Old Guys could really just kick you up to the next level. See you next
Okay,
week.
everybody wave goodbye. Everybody wave goodbye. Everybody wave, and we'll see you all down the road.